support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
This is Sports Center.
It's day 2 of the PGA Championship. I'm Chris Smith. Over on ESPN, Jonathan Vegas remains atop the leaderboard at 8 under after the Venezuelan carded a 70 in round 2. Alex Smalley, 1 stroke back through 10 holes, while Matthew Pavon is 2 strokes off the lead after shooting a 6 under 65 on Friday. In New York, will get another opportunity to close out their series with Boston, but ESPN radio host Chris Canty says you can't count out the Celtics in Game 6.
I don't understand how you can just go to the place of, oh, the Boston Celtics don't have a chance. The Knicks are going to take care of their business. This is all said and done already. I can't go there. Like, I'm never going to dismiss the heart of a champion. So there's that. But then also, all the pressure now in this series is on the New York Knicks.
Heard on ESPN radios on Sportsmanlike. The Knicks haven't clinched a playoff series at MSG since the 1999 Conference Finals. Coverage began 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Baseball, the Yankees activated right-hander Jonathan Loaisiga from the Angels, giving their bullpen another potential late-inning weapon ahead of their Subway Series with the Mets.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty, coming on Monday. So much going on in the world of sports, NBA and NHL playoffs, plus the PGA Championship. And I'll react to it all in my upon further review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's on Sportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, man.
Shut up, kid. Taylor Sharp. Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Put. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Kat Terrell here in about 15 minutes. A great, extensive feature report on what all happened with the Derek Carr situation. Could Chris Olave be headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Terrio, 1 hour, Mincy, an hour, 3. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
I watch a lot of baseball. Love baseball. Kind of baseball nerd. Watch a lot of the Tigers. Watch the Yankees a lot. And one of the things you talk about a lot with baseball is you don't react emotionally to baseball the way you do football. You just can't. There's too many games. You're going to lose. Every team in the history of ever has lost baseball games. Nobody goes undefeated. The 27 Yankees, greatest team ever, they lost games. Gehrig, Ruth, didn't matter. You lose games. So the LSU Tigers are going to lose games. When they got run ruled on a Tuesday night against Northwestern State, I sat there and told you I don't care. I don't care. And I get it. They went out there. They're playing well. Rains come. You go in the locker room for 90 minutes. You come out like the guys from Varsity Blues coming out the strip club at 5, 6 in the morning, and you just whatever. And you got to be. I don't care. I just don't care. The key is never to get too high with the wins or too low with the losses. I mean, a 6-run ninth against Tennessee is awesome. But you gave it right back against Arkansas in Game 3, blowing a late lead. So you're going to have those. Thursday night against South Carolina was dramatically different, however. That was, by a mile, your most hideous, disgusting loss of this season. And it ain't close, considering who you were playing, the circumstances in the game, how you lost, and what was on the line this weekend. To lose that game is a disgusting pile of garbage. You want to go through it? I'll go through the game in a second. But I can remind you, first of all, you need 2 wins. You need to win this series to lock up a national seed. We've talked about it all year. The difference between LSU at home and on the road this year, especially conference play, has been stark. You want to go to Omaha? The path to Omaha needs to go through Baton Rouge. You've got to lock up a national seed. And you've got a great opportunity to do it. Go win a weekend. Awesome. Go win a weekend. Easier said than done. It's hard to win in the SEC. Harder even still to win on the road in the SEC. Very true. The benefit is you get to play the second worst team in the conference. One of the worst teams we've seen in recent memory in the SEC. This Carolina team is 5-22. They're miserable. Staff ERA almost at 7. It's like a Sunbelt team playing in the SEC. They're awful. Paul Maneri came on this show and said, we just don't have arms. We're just going to try to dazzle them a little bit. Oh, dazzle, they did. We'll get to that here in a little bit. I mean, South Carolina's staff threw up 6 zeros against LSU. And when you had opportunities for crooked numbers, your own boneheaded plays ran you out of innings. How about getting thrown out at third not once but twice in the same friggin' inning? One instance, you got Josh Jordan, the third base coach, saying, get down, get down, get down. Instead, you try to go in standing up out at third. What the hell are you doing? I feel like I'm watching my nephew's 10-year-old baseball games. Not a team that's ranked number 1 in the country trying to lock up a national seed. It's disgusting. God bless. Connor Ware goes out there and walks the friggin' bases loaded in the top of the second. Thank God Jaden Newt had a pulse. Goes out there, gives up the sac fly, but other than that, got you out of it with limited damage. Newt was good. Shores was good. They got you 6 innings. Should have been enough. Should have been enough. And even still, great play by Pearson in the 7th. Diving catch. Makes the throw into second to double up the runner. Avoid potential damage there. Oh, Jake Brown pinch hit. Got you single. Bases loaded. Beautiful AB. Scored what gave you the cushion run that you needed. Stunning that maybe the most gifted player on your team came through for you. Whatever. Y'all know my feeling on that. And then you hand the ball to the guy that's been your best closer all year, your best reliever all year, with a 2-run lead needing 6 outs, and he didn't have it. Didn't miss any bats. And then in the 9th, there's a fly ball to left. Oh, and because you put Brown in the game, Pearson goes to left, Curiel comes out. So now you got Pearson in left instead of a guy that's 6'2" and a dynamic outfielder who, I don't know, maybe makes that play in left, maybe not. Certainly a more competitive go at instead of Pearson getting turned around at the wall. That ends up losing you the freaking game. I mean, just absolutely disgusting. And now you have no margin. You've got to win the next 2 games, or you go to Hoover pretty desperate in a single elimination format this year. So thinking of it this way, you'd love to be able to lock up a national seed this weekend so you can go to Hoover. And if you want to give Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson the week off, great. Let them rest to be ready for Regional Supers Omaha. Throw whoever. It doesn't matter. You've done everything you need to do. You want to let them get out there and throw 30 pitches? Fine. Go, whatever. But it's just the result wouldn't matter at all. I'd almost rather they win 2 games this weekend, lose the first game in Hoover, come on home and just get rested for regionals. You've done everything you need to do. Don't need that stupid SEC tournament. It's pointless. It's a fun event to watch, but it's a pointless exercise. You play 30 league games. You need a stupid tournament for it to determine a champion. It's just a money grab. Same thing as a stupid SEC championship football game, the stupid SEC basketball tournament. All the leagues do it. It's just a money grab. Anyway, it's a whole nother conversation. But to get there, you got to take care of business against an awful South Carolina team, and you gag away a great opportunity. And so now you go into Friday, Saturday with no margin. You have got to go win the next 2 games, which means you've got to have Cade Anderson, who, by the way, scared the hell out of all of us last week when he's leaving the game holding his wrist and doing the thing where he's open and closing his hand saying he can't grip the ball. Don't try to tell me you're not at least a little bit apprehensive about that. When you start talking about pitchers with wrist and forearm stuff, don't tell me you're not at least a little nervous about what you're going to see tonight from Cade Anderson, because I sure as hell am. And Jake can give us 5-second sound bites where he said, "One through his week. Are we on target?" Okay, great. Awesome. I'm going to have to go see this. I'm praying like heck that he's awesome, not only for LSU's sake, but for that young man's sake who's about to be a top 15 pick in the draft. Baseball America had a mock draft this week, had him number 3 overall. I hope he is good. But you're going to need him to go be max effort tonight. And then Saturday, you're going to need Anthony Ianson to do the exact same thing with no margin for error. Or, because if you don't, then you go into Hoover next week having to go make a run to lock up a national seat. Just a dreadful, dreadful outing. I mean, Jay Johnson talked to Cokie Riley after the game. Here's what he said his message to the team was after the loss.
We didn't play great, and, this time of year you don't have time to, dwell on it. And it's important with the postseason coming up. Like, you always have to be ready to move on to the next game. We addressed a few of the mistakes that we made in the game, and then get ready for tomorrow.
And he's right. They didn't play great. But there's no excuse for that because of the point you're at in the season. You have to be ready to play great every day. And my God, Missouri sweeping Texas A&M a week ago was the wake-up call you needed. As a coaching staff, how is that not the thing you point to your players and say, look at what can happen this week against South Carolina if you don't show up ready to play? A&M had game 1. South Carolina puts up a 6 spot in the 9th, and before you know it, they're walking out of town having swept Texas A&M right out of Bluebell Park. And now A&M's on the outside looking into the bracket. LSU's going to be in the field. They're going to be a host. But you want to get to Omaha? You better be a national seed. How do you lock that up? You win this series this weekend. Now your back's against the wall with 2 games to play. The good news is you have your 2 horses lined up with Anderson and Ianson. And you got to hope that they're their best over the next 2 days. Because baseball is a funny game. And some days you just aren't your best. And you just don't have it. But now you're in a desperate spot because you got veteran players and a freshman All-American who have boneheaded base running mistakes. You had a veteran pitcher who, unfortunately, blew a 2-run lead. You got a guy that you were counting on to get you off to a good start who walks the bases loaded. You gave away at-bats. Just an absolutely filth pile of a loss. But the thing Jay said there is right. You don't have time to dwell on it because there's so much at stake, and you got to come back and play today. So get over it. Go whip the hell out of South Carolina today and get back on track because, my goodness, if you lose this series, I mean, next week in Hoover becomes way more intense than it ever needed to or should have been for this team considering what you had here in the final week of the regular season. All right, it's after further review. Our show, but Never Day, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Might need a lot of them to get through this weekend after what I saw last night. Anyway, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, and, of course, the official beer of AFR. Weekend's here, beautiful weather. Maybe going to be throwing some meat on the grill. Nothing better than some meat on the grill and an ice-cold Bud Light. So drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break, okay? Kat Terrell of ESPN.com is going to be with us next. If you missed it, Kat Terrell and Jeremy Fowler have a really extensive piece about Derek Carr's curious retirement. The most in-depth piece we've seen so far. We'll get some deets from Kat when we come back at AFR.
After further review.
Our friends over at Action Industries, also a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Of course, Action Industries, a subsidiary of Action Industries with the Advanced Turnaround Group, something we tell you about all the time. ActionIndinc.com. ActionIndinc.com for Action Industries Incorporated. You know, the Advanced Turnaround Group is a core group of professionals that have built their careers on executing turnarounds, that They're not just taking any worker from any part of the business and throwing them in the turnaround world. It's a completely different pool of resources when we talk about the advanced turnaround group. These are employees at Action Industries who are proficient in turnaround work. They have specific turnaround managers, specific turnaround coordinators. So they'll get in, they'll get your turnaround work done with safety and with great quality. So remember, the advanced turnaround group at Action Industries. You can look them up online, actionindinc.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
To call Derek Carr's retirement curious might be an understatement. To date, the most extensive piece on Carr's retirement has been penned by Catherine Terrell and Jeremy Fowler over at ESPN.com. It's published if you want to go read it. Spent a good amount of time chopping through this earlier today, and Kat's good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Hey, Kat, thanks for the time. How are you?
Doing great, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How many people did you and Jeremy interview for the story?
Wow, that's a good question. Between us, I don't even know. Probably like 8 or 10 people at least.
Okay.
A lot. I'll say it was a lot.
You know, it's good for context to understand, like, this wasn't a single sourced opinion or a couple of people that you talked to. So you got a wide variety of opinions and perspectives. What to you was maybe the most surprising revelation going in based on what you thought and then what you learned?
Well, I will say, just to add context to these types of stories, I think we had 26 pages of notes in this document, which actually could have been more. We tried to turn this around pretty quickly. But, I wrote a timeline of everything that's happened from when Carr got here to when Carr left. And I think the most surprising thing is how many questions are still being refused to answer by both sides. I mean, it's hard to even get a simple answer of when Carr told the Saints he wanted to retire, which should not be this crazy secret, right?
Yeah.
If he wanted to retire, I don't think it matters when he said it, the week he retired, but no one wants to answer that. I guess the other thing is just more clarity on how Carr through his agent, was gauging the interests of other teams before his restructure. I think that's very interesting because it sort of raises more questions to the timeline of the injury.
That's a great point. Let me come to that in a second, but I want to go back. Why, Kat, do you suspect, and you've covered this team and the NFL for a long time, why do you suspect Carr and the Saints don't want to answer the question about the retirement announcement timeline?
My best guess is that I don't think Kellen Moore comes off looking great in this piece, just because it seems like either a lot was withheld from him or he chose to take himself out of it. Again, lots of questions still remaining. And so I don't think they want to dive too deeply into the question of who talked to Carr at the end and who Carr told he was retiring, because I think that makes the coach look even more disconnected from this particular situation. But that's just my guess.
Sure, and I think that's important context. I asked you to speculate, but you did note there was it 23 questions?
23.
23 questions that in that press conference last Saturday when we found out Kellen or Derek Carr was retiring, the press asked 23 questions to Kellen Moore about Derek Carr. And to your point, Kat, when Kellen Moore is explaining about how great Derek was through the process, yet they never met, it does call into question how believable Kellen Moore's perspective is. So what should we believe, based on all your 26 pages of notes, was Kellen Moore's involvement from the time he was hired to now?
Well, I think the one big thing that, to me, puts a lot of people's statements into complete question as to who is lying is that I know that from multiple sources that at least one coach did not know about Derek Carr's shoulder injury. So either Kellen Moore didn't tell him or Kellen Moore didn't know. There are a lot of things that went on that last week in March. Kellen Moore went to a ton of pro days. All the offensive coaches were gone. Supposedly that is when Derek Carr came to the facility, conveniently when Kellen Moore wasn't there. And supposedly that's when he found out about the shoulder injury. And yet at least one or more of the coaches didn't learn that information. So, sorry, I'm rambling. I almost forgot what you actually asked me, but I guess that was what I was just so surprised about, is how this communication just seemed lost.
Sure.
And this whole thing.
Kat Terrell's with us, ESPN.com. Get her on Twitter at @Kat_Terrell. She and Jeremy Fowler have a great piece up right now. It's the most extensive piece so far on the Derek Carr retirement. Do you get a sense of how you would classify the Kellen Moore-Derek Carr relationship? Maybe a better way to ask it, Kat, is part of Derek Carr's decision to retire because Kellen Moore is the coach, or maybe not Dennis Allen or the coaches, as you point out in the piece, he had a good relationship with?
I'm not sure if it's so much the fact that it's Kellen Moore, but maybe more so that from day one, I think it was kind of obvious that Kellen Moore wasn't completely committed to Derek Carr. So even had Derek Carr come back, Derek Carr has been through, I don't even know the exact number off the top of my head, but I think at least 9 offensive coordinators, which is something he's talked about a lot, multiple head coaches. And so, and in his mind, he may have said, why do I want to come back to a coach that doesn't want me long term, a new offensive coordinator, a team that might not be good, only to get cut next year? I mean, this is me again, just trying to figure out what he's thinking, because I don't think their relationship, I'm not going to classify it as good or bad. I'm going to classify it as non-existent. I mean, at that press conference, one of the 23 questions was, did you talk to Derek Carr and basically try to pick his mind about why he's retiring? And he said, well, he talked mostly to Mickey, which I think is a huge thing because you're the head coach. You know, even Dennis Allen flew out to try to go convince Michael Thomas that they needed to be on the same page whenever that was going on. And it's surprising that Kellen Moore didn't do that with Derek Carr.
The tell-all from Derek Carr, most definitely at a church in Las Vegas, is going to be fascinating when it happens. You do mention other teams, however, and that's the first we've heard of that. And I don't know, Kat, if was it Carr? Was it his representative that were reaching out to other teams?
I believe it was his representative, and I don't believe it was ever serious talks, but I do think you could infer that if they were reaching out to other teams, maybe they wanted to see what the real level of interest was, and either the Saints said, well, we're out of time, we need to restructure your contract, or there was not any interest, and that spurred everything along. This happened right around the time the Saints restructured the contract. And remember, the player has no say about whether a contract is restructured. Basically, their contract says, we're going to restructure it. You have to sign it, or the contract guarantees could be voided. So they don't get a choice in that.
And it is worth noting, Kat, I mean, it was your one-on-one with Derek Carr after the season where Derek Carr said point blank he would not accept a pay cut, but he would restructure. He would always do whatever to help the team. I mean, that was something he said, and then clearly there's a contradiction now. I do want to go back to the timeline also, which you alluded to, so I'm kind of looping back. But it is interesting if Derek Carr did, in fact, injure the shoulder against the Giants on the leaping play, but was working to come back at the end of the season. And there were even notes that he was throwing, but it was his inability to hold the ball because of his broken wrist. Are we to believe that the injury actually did happen on that leap? Because wouldn't he would have, right, been throwing to get ready to play, presumably at the end of last season?
Yeah, I think that gets complicated because obviously he had an MRI for the hand, right? But if you're MRIing the hand, are you MRIing the full body and seeing what is going on with the shoulder? I don't know, which makes it so tricky to talk about unless you get someone that was in that room, both for that initial x-rays, MRIs with the hand and also the exit physical. I do know that a Saints source said that the shoulder did not come up in the exit physical, or at least no concerns were voiced about the shoulder at the time. And so you would have to think that would at least come up, right? If that was such an issue. But I mean, back in December, it was all about the hand. Nobody's ever, to me or anyone to my knowledge, said anything about the shoulder. And so it definitely makes you, I'm going back, but it makes you start rethinking conversations, just like that conversation I had with Derek Carr in January, the last day, and also that the rest of the reporters had when he said things like, well, I've had positive talks, but, if it had to change, and things like that, like almost like in the back of his head, he was thinking, well, maybe there is a possibility I'm not going to be here in a few months.
Just a couple more. The actual decision to retire and leave $30 million on the table. We've had Scott Shanley on this show earlier this week said he doesn't know many NFL players that would have opted to not have a surgery and forego $30 million. What do you make of this arrangement, Kat, for Derek to retire and leaving that money on the table?
I still find it very strange. It helps the team, honestly. I mean, it saves them a ton of money. And so it makes you question, okay, why would he do that instead of, just sitting on IR the remainder of the season? Now, I've talked to people, not directly involved, that have speculated, well, maybe he didn't want to have the surgery and go through the rehab and sit on IR. Maybe he just wanted to walk away. Could the Saints have forced him to have surgery? I don't think so. So I don't know that it's that. I mean, it just makes you wonder, was there any possibility of this thing going to court and either side being worried that they would lose that case? I mean, because I think it could have gone to court, right, if it had gotten contentious, but instead both sides are saying, I think about each other. So away with money. I guess everyone's happy now, but the truth of all that's going to be very hard to come out, because I think only a few people know, and they're going to keep it that way.
Yeah. One more. You said you had 26 pages of notes to do this story. What didn't make it into the story that you think is relevant?
A lot of my notes were focused on the history of the history of teams going after signing bonuses whenever they retire early, and it's very, very rare. Robin Johnson was the rare exception where a very famous player retired and the team made him pay some of that money back. It never happens, and I kind of wanted to know, to try to figure out, could this have gone to court? And if so, what would that have been? Because there are ways to void the contract. It says so in the contract language. So a lot of it was about that. And a lot of it, honestly, was just the timeline of Derek Carr's kind of tumultuous history there. I don't think most of that made the story. We all know about it. Just the fights on the field with the teammates, things like that. Obviously the fan base had their opinions about him. I think we just focused it mainly on the last few months, but there's a ton of history you could go into that would have made this a very long story.
Yeah. Why Derek Carr's surprise retirement has prompted questions. The headline, it's at ESPN.com. Jeremy Fowler and Kat Terrell. You can go read it right now. I would highly recommend that you do. Kat, we always appreciate a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for the shout out.
Of course. Really good work there by Kat and Jeremy in what's still a bizarre situation. And my biggest takeaway from it, if you read the story, really is, there isn't one singular takeaway. There's several. One is certainly the money component, and I don't know that I fully buy that Derek just has a lot of integrity and didn't want to steal money from the organization and be on IR, because he was certainly planning on playing this year. This retirement discussion happened very rapidly. Obviously, the Kellen Moore component of this is fascinating because it is very clear Kellen Moore had nothing to do with Derek Carr. And all of the conversations were handled by Mickey Loomis. So when Kellen Moore is being asked about it, he has no answers because he doesn't know the information. And that really does beg the question, how much power pull does the head coach have in that building right now? It is a fascinating thing. And we'll just wait. Maybe the next Carr review video, we'll get a few more answers from Derek on how this all went down. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Graduation time is here, y'all, but it's also summertime as well. What an awesome time to get by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. That's the website, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Also, summer weddings. It's about that time of year. If you need your wedding bands or if you need wedding gifts, think Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. If you got an anniversary or birthday coming up, Lee Michaels has everything that you need to thrill whoever might be on your list. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can give the gift of jewelry, a timepiece. That'll last forever. It can be handed down generation to generation. Jewelry is something that's so personal, it lasts. It can be cherished for decades, and nobody is better than Lee Michaels. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where they got 9 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and Shreveport. LMFJ.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Friday shows brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. You get on by, have a cocktail, a premium cigar right there in Town Center in Baton Rouge. All right, Terrio's here in 30 minutes from right now. We'll do Other Right Radio hours. We will talk to Mincy, get some baseball picks coming up in hour number 3. Thanks to Kat. If you want to react to anything Kat just said or if you've read the piece, feel free. You can email us, tweet us, text us. 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you get involved. So do it. It's AFR.
After further review.
Right about the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance, Southtown on Bluebond. Of course, the Renaissance sprawling 13,000 square foot of meeting space alone. And one of the things I love about Renaissance Baton Rouge, really the entire Renaissance line. No matter what market that you're in, if you go into a Renaissance, every Renaissance is designed according to that local market. So I stayed at a Renaissance in Las Vegas, and there's like, it's gaming, slot machines, card games, all the decor in that Renaissance. Renaissance Baton Rouge, you walk in, the carpet is if you look at it closely, it's a crab trap design. The sculptures on the ceiling are hatching pelican eggs. If you look at the sculpture behind the front desk, it is a 2-scale sculpture of the Mississippi River and its tributaries. So many different ways, all the thought that goes into everything about Renaissance Baton Rouge. And what an amazing place to hold your next gathering, whatever meeting that may be. It's right there on Bluebonnet. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
It's customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Muse, what is that? That's terrible.
It says Happy Days, upbeat, fun hip-hop instrumental.
Well, this is not a happy day around here. Well, I guess maybe it is a little bit. It's a sad day. It's a bittersweet day. Today was T-Bob's last day with us. He's head off to Barstool. He'll be up in Chicago next week. They have plans to move the family throughout the summer up there. But today was T-Bob's last show. We did announce, however, this morning that Matt Flynn is joining Off the Bench. So it'll be Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. So we are reuniting two of the stars from the 2007 National Championship team. It's no surprise, and Matt's no stranger to our radio audience. Matt's been on with Jake ever since the Hanging with Hester days. When he would come in, one day a week in the evenings, and hang with Jake, and then whenever Jake moved to the mornings with Off the Bench with T-Bob, Matt would still come in on Wednesdays. And, we went through a lot of conversations, Jake and I did, about who was going to replace T-Bob, and Matt was his first choice. And very candidly, I didn't know that Matt would really have any interest. But when we had the convo and he was interested, it was all about how do we get that done and across the finish line. So we had conversations with a lot of different people. T-Bob gave us enough of a head start to where, quite honestly, we've been working on this. It feels like forever. The whole thing has probably been about 4 months now. T-Bob and I started talking about his contract back in mid-January. I don't need to disclose anything more, but it's just know that it's been a long process. It was very thoughtful how we went through the whole thing. Unlike Kellen Moore talking about Derek Carr, like T-Bob actually was great throughout this process. He actually did disclose everything to us throughout, and it made this whole thing easier for us to move through. But in the end, Matt checks every box. I mean, he has obviously deep knowledge of the teams that we talk about. He has immediate credibility and brand name recognition in our market, not only as a guy who's been on this radio station, but as the national championship quarterback of the 2007 team, and also having won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. We think the resources that Matt and Jake together will pull are going to be awesome. And honestly, like more than anything, in this business, there is nothing more valuable than chemistry. Literally nothing. I mean, you could have two really talented broadcasters, but if they don't know how to dance together, then you're just stepping on each other's feet. Like, chemistry is the most valuable component in media when you're doing some type of tandem show or anything, a newscast, like any type of broadcast. You have to have chemistry. And you can't buy it. You can't fake it. Your audience knows when it's not there. And if you have it, it's worth its weight in gold. That's why you hate to break up a pair like Hester and T-Bob, because they're so good together. And so with Matt, very candidly, we kind of looked at it and thought, look, we can all teach Matt the radio formatic part of it. Jake and Matt have chemistry, and he has such an incredible knowledge and has such an easy way on air. I mean, he's just very digestible. And I mean, you've all, I'm sure, listened to Matt over the years in some capacity. He's fantastic. So all the other stuff we can learn and refine. He'll be great, but he's excited about it, and I'm fired up that we got that deal with Matt done. So announced Matt Flynn as the new co-host of Off the Bench. He'll be Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn starting on June the 2nd. So Jake will go solo next week. The following week, Taylor will be in for Jake, as Jake is at SEC Spring Meetings. It'll be Memorial Day week. And then on Monday, June the 2nd, will be the debut of Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. We're really excited about it. So thanks to everybody who's gone through this, been patient with us throughout the whole thing, and whoever who's asked questions and inquired. And we're excited about it. We're excited about the new direction that we take. It's an inevitability in this business. If you hang around long enough, people leave, there's turnover. It's just a very transient business where people tend to not stay long. So it's kind of incredible that we've been able to have a lot of stability in our lineup for as long as we have. But we're excited to have Matt Flynn joining Off the Bench. Again, he'll be the new co-host with Jake starting on June the 2nd. One other quick note I will mention, and I'm going to give a hat tip to Michelle Southern, who's our operations manager. Michelle came up to me with the idea. Many of you know we have a merch store, 929 Misfits, and she said, hey, how about if we do some T-Bob themed shirts and take all the proceeds and give it as sort of like a parting gift to the A-Bears before they go to Chicago? Just sort of like like let people remember T-Bob, and then that's a way that they can contribute, help, whatever, and all that stuff. It was an awesome idea. And so we put up this, Michelle put up the page. I kind of gave help with some ideas, but she put up the page at 929 Misfits, and I told T-Bob about it this morning. Here you go, Taylor. You can pull it up now. Thank you. And there's a bunch of different shirt designs. There's like the Step Brothers, Jake and T-Bob Step Brothers design. Let me see if I can get these for you so it looks a little better. Sorry. There's the whiskey and wine for me and T-Bob looking like Jay and Silent Bob, Hester and T-Bob, the the Step Brothers. There's T-Bob in a Hawaiian shirt flipping off the camera. There's the infamous yeah, which was after LSU beat Bama in 2019 with him, his red face screaming. It's amazing. Anyway, there's about 9 different designs, but all of them are available. And when I went and showed it to T-Bob earlier today, he said, that's awesome. It's so thoughtful. But how about if we, instead of giving us the proceeds, how about if you donate it to Dreams Come True of Louisiana? That was completely his idea. We were doing this specifically as a way to try to help them financially in their move. And he said, no, give all the money to Dreams Come True. So if you're not familiar, Dreams Come True is our big charity endeavor where they grant dreams for children with terminal or life-threatening illnesses, which is so noble and so awesome. And we love Miss Becky and all the work that they do. And they're a local company, they're a local nonprofit, and all of the money stays in Louisiana. And because they operate so lean, a higher percentage of the dollar donation actually goes to the dreams. 100% of the money stays in Louisiana. So what a very cool thing to do, and a gift T-Bob and his family are giving back to our state on the way out. So if you're interested, I think we've got the link posted on all of our socials. But Muse, maybe you could take that and drop the link in the YouTube chat as well, if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, so if you want to buy a T-Bob shirt, there are a lot of different designs. I think which one would you all want of these designs? Muse, which one would
the double bird, no doubt.
Okay, you're the double bird.
The double bird, no doubt.
Tay, look, you didn't see these. There's you pull it back up. There's so we got him in the infamous Mississippi State picture.
That picture.
This is one that, shout out to Rick. The Rick on Twitter has been a longtime viewer. Did this sketch of T-Bob, which is awesome. We threw that on a shirt. There's T-Bob superimposed on the fat guy Kool-Aid Man. There's T-Bob as Luke Skywalker. And then there's one more. Oh, there it is. I guess that's a Game of Thrones one. Is that what that is?
That's what it looks like,
yeah.
All right, Tay, which T-Bob shirt would you prefer?
Love the double bird. You can't wear it everywhere. I'm going to go Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man.
Are there any that we missed?
Like you talking about like infamous T-Bob things?
Infamous T-Bob moments.
I mean, you could have just scrolled through Whiskey and Wine and found plenty.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
there was one with an inflatable pig that comes to mind.
Yeah, the pig.
That would have been really funny on a shirt.
I've been asked a lot. I guess we can add more. I've been asked a lot about what happens with Whiskey and Wine, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Man. Well, wait, which shirt would you get?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. The screaming face T-Bob after the Alabama win. I mean, that was such an amazing moment. Like, that made it into their show open.
It did.
I mean, when you hear the show open and then you heard that, can you pull that up if you have it? I don't know if you have it anywhere handy.
No, I can get that easily.
But that's. And Danny was the video producer at the time. And if you didn't see the video of that, I could probably find that too. Like, Danny just started, he went to a one-shot on T-Bob and just zoomed in to where it was just his face on a super tight shot. As, I don't know, let's see, Alabama. Let's see if I can find this. Here it is. Yeah, it's a minute and 3 seconds. I don't know. Can you get this audio, Muse?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Hang on.
I'm changing the.
Hang on.
Yeah.
That right there.
Can you smell?
Let Danny just keep zooming in.
What Coach is cooking? It's over, baby. The nightmare's over. Let the healing begin.
Here comes Neck.
31 in a row at home. You've lost one in a row at home. You bums. You suck. Suck it in your own house. Dominated beginning to end.
Dude.
You had fluky scores, lucky breaks, and it didn't matter. Oh, what's that? What are you going to say? It doesn't matter what you're going to say. What are you going to do when the Tigers come for you? Whoa.
I don't know how he didn't pass out with that. But anyway, it was that right there's the
that
makes
a lot of sense.
That's the thing that I would go with. Yeah. Shout out to T-Bob. right, it's after further review. We're supposed to do around the SEC. Let me break. Come back and I'll wrap up the hour next. AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. Y'all check them out online. Remember, new or certified pre-owned. Got a text yesterday from a buddy, Mr. Kerry Manuel, who's a certified pre-owned manager over at South Point Volkswagen. And their selection, the quality of their selection of certified pre-owned is amazing. If you want to go search the inventory, just go to the website, southpointvw.com. Hit the used tab at the top. And listen, they have all different makes and models. Tons of Volkswagens, absolutely. But, I mean, there's a 2021 Chevy Silverado, a 2019 Jeep Wrangler, a 2021 Audi Q3. The point is, whether you're looking for Nissan Pathfinder, Lexus RX 350, they got great vehicles, new and certified pre-owned. So if you're buying a vehicle, you can shop the pre-owned lot, but make sure you shop South Point Volkswagen as well. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, Ice Cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, got to move quickly here. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
Billy Napier sat down with Josh Pate. He gave an update on DJ Lagway. Said the quarterback remains on track in his recovery. He is set to start the opener. Been a lot of questions about Lagway with a shoulder injury, but should be ready to go.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
OU landed a commitment from four-star 2026 linebacker Ja'Cory Smith, the second defensive prospect to commit to OU for 2026. Chose the Sooners over Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and others. He's a 4-star, top 25 linebacker in the country.
The Auburn Tigers.
Pat Dye Field is set to be inscribed at Jordan-Hare Stadium this season. Pretty cool way to honor the former Auburn coach. Pat Dye Field was written on both 25-yard lines back in 2005, but now will be inscribed on the stadium there at Jordan-Hare as well. Dye was the coach from 1981 to 1992.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And top in-state recruit J.J. Andrews has committed to Arkansas for hoops. 6'6", 220-pounder out of Little Rock. Made his decision for the Hogs over a Final 3 that included Missouri and LSU. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana. Remember, our friends over at Shawbills, they're the best. If you want tires, name brand tires at wholesale prices, they treat you like family. It's Shawbills. Where also at Shawbills, I was talking to Martin just the other day, they are looking for a seasoned technician in beautiful LaPlace near the shores of Lake Pontchartrain. Full-time, no weekends, newly renovated facility, easy commute also from Gonzales and Ascension. So if you're interested, you can apply at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Putting a button here on hour number 1. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. When we come back, Terrio will be here for the Riot Radio Hours. Missed Terrio last week while I was in Chicago, and he was at the state track meet with his daughters winning more state championships. That's apparently all they ever do is Terrios, I tell you what. Okay, Terrio, when we come back, get his thoughts on LSU's Game 1 loss to South Carolina. Look at the weekend ahead. Don't you move. Hour 2 of AFR is next.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. You can always go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. I love telling you about all the stuff Gordon does on social. They're starting to roll out a series in the garage, which is, by the way, the podcast studio. They took a garage, converted it into a podcast studio, where Gordon's sitting down with a lot of the attorneys on his team. You can get all that info there. Gordon gives you great advice, and you can learn more about some of the success cases they've had. Like, for example, Davis Richardson, who's part of Gordon's team, just recovered a $250,000 workers' comp settlement. So whether it's any of Gordon's offices, you're talking about great local attorneys that get results. More than $3 billion in damages recovered over the last 30 years. So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
This is SportsCenter.
It's day 2 of the PGA Championship. I'm Chris Smith. Over on ESPN, Jonathan Vegas remains atop of the leaderboard at 8 under after shooting a 1 under 70 in round 2. Matthew Pavon shot at 6 under 65 with 2 strokes off the lead and is in a 4-way tie with Alex Smalley, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Gerard, who are all on the back 9. And it's a crucial Game 6 at Madison Square Garden, and ESPN host Alan Hahn says the Knicks will respond after dropping Game 5 against the Celts.
The only time they've ever closed out immediately was 2 years ago in Cleveland, Game 5. They put that series to rest. After that, they've always lost one, then they'll win one. Against Indiana last year, they lost the last 2 games of that series. Against Detroit, same situation. They went on the road, they went home, they lost, they had to go on the road to get a win. This now flips the script. Now they come home, Madison Square Garden, Friday night. And when I said last week that was a game of the century, game 3?
No, this one.
Never mind. This is now the game of the century.
The Knicks haven't clinched a playoff series at MSG since the 1999 Conference Finals. Coverage begins 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Baseball, the Yankees have activated right-hander Jonathan Loaizaga from the injured list, giving the bullpen a little weapon in their Subway
Hey,
Series.
it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Monday. So much going on in the world of sports, NBA and NHL playoffs, plus the PGA Championship. And I'll react to it all in my upon further review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the riot. Born and raised in the swamps, gonna fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but good. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Terrio. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Taylor Sharp. Musa. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yo, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
Like that shirt.
It's a nice one. It's comfy. Feels like a hug.
That's Task. TASC, the Task brand shirts. Erica got me some of those. I think maybe around Easter she got me a couple of them. The collared shirts, they're so comfy.
Yeah, Joe got these for you. May have one actually at the office.
Oh,
Joe had these made.
Shout out Joe Morales.
Yep. Joe had
partner
these
over
made.
at Parish Construction. So you have the Parish Construction roofing logo there on your arm, on your bicep.
Yeah, this is it's subtle. It's a good spot for
It's
it.
really good. I love it. Is mine green too?
Yeah, they're all the same color.
Or did Joe just get you one?
No, because Richard had one, so I'm thinking you may have one.
Do you think
too.
he just got one for you and Richard?
Maybe.
Did he get one for him?
Mm-hmm. He was wearing it. I'm thinking.
All right, if he got one for you and for Richard and him and not me,
that would be messed up.
I'm gonna be a little hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he got you one.
I'd be a little hurt. Yeah. I mean, I'll get over it. I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it, but
He probably got you one.
maybe I'll be a little disappointed. Let's say that.
Very comfortable.
I love those task shirts. They really are comfy. Like if I had a closet full of those, that'd be great.
Tilly said they made underwear too.
Yeah, they do.
Could you imagine?
I have a bunch of those workout. It's for those who don't know, TASC task, and Drew says TAS. I first started getting because the workout shirts, they're incredible,
amazing.
Yeah, and so then Erica bought me some of those, the collared shirts. They're great. Love it. Yeah, we missed you last week. I was in Chicago.
Yeah. Where was I?
You were at the track meet.
Track meet last. Well, that was miserable. Holy moly.
Oh, I thought the girls did great.
They did. It literally rained. I got there at 1:30, and we left at 9, and it rained and it never stopped raining. Ever.
Okay.
Stopped raining.
About the time that you and I would have normally been doing radio, actually a little before that, I sent you a picture because I was in Chicago. And my hotel was directly across from the John Hancock building. And so our session Friday finished at 1. And, I'm fasting, so I don't eat until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. My flight wasn't until like 5:30. So I'm like, okay, session ended, went back to the hotel, threw all my stuff in my bag, checked the bag with the concierge, and I was like, I'm going to walk across the street and go to the top of the John Hancock building because they had like a restaurant bar up there.
You have to.
So I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I walk in, I'm thinking, I'll just hop on the elevator, go up. $57
to ride the elevator.
To ride an elevator.
How many people were on it with you?
Bro.
It's packed.
You and I need to build a skyscraper just so we can charge idiots like me and all the other idiots that were at the top of this building with me $57 to ride an elevator.
Was there 20 people on the elevator with you?
I don't think 20 would have fit on that elevator, but there were like 4 elevators, and it was just constant up and down the whole time I was there. Unbelievable. I mean, this was a Friday at 1 o'clock. Friday at 1 o'clock.
$1,000 every time. Boom, boom, boom.
Just boom. Every time the thing goes up. You want to pay for a skyscraper really quickly? That's a good way to do it.
Put in 4 elevators.
Oh my God. Anyway, crazy.
But the picture was good. How was the weather when you were up there? Nice?
Oh, yeah. So I sent you a picture from the top of the building, like with the skyline behind me or the city behind me. Yeah, no, the weather, no, it sucked. It was terrible.
Was it?
I mean, it was freaking May, and the wind chill's in the 30s.
That's stupid.
Like, it's the wind knocks you over. Like, there were certain buildings when you walked into between certain buildings, it was like a wind tunnel. I mean, literally, like, you got to fight the door open. Mincy will be here in an hour. Like, and I met up with Mincy one of the days, and we went and hung out, had dinner, and like when we walked back to the hotel, it was like that trying to open the doors. Like you had to like forcefully push the door open. The wind was blowing. It's terrible.
That sucks.
Like it's May. Oh, here, look. This is me at the base of the John Hancock building. You can pull that up there. There it is. So
look at that. We could build that. Parish could build that.
Okay.
The Parish Tower.
Yeah, let's do it. In what city, and who's going to occupy all the floors? Are we just going to? Maybe that'll save us money on the build out. We don't have to develop all the floors. We just need an elevator to the top.
You know where we should build that at? Donaldsonville. Be a great spot for that.
Let's do it. Maybe you heard about Nottoway burning down, which is so sad.
It's very sad.
What if we build it on that spot?
The Nottoway Tower.
The Nottoway Tower. Let's do it. Be great.
I'm down.
How's your week going?
The week started off with a bang. Good week. And then
really? What happened?
I love Mondays, and we got some good stuff happening at work, so that was good. Macy graduated.
When was graduation?
That made me really sad. Monday.
Can I be like I didn't get a. Do kids not do graduation announcements anymore?
Well, we're not good. We're not good at doing it in a timely
Is she sending them out?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to send her a gift, but at the same time, because I got Houston's last year, but my niece, Reese Anderman, shout out, she's graduating from St. Joe's Academy on Sunday. I didn't get an announcement from Reese. I'm like,
you'll probably get it after, I would imagine. We're not good at, I don't know when it goes. You're on the list for sure.
Okay.
Uncle Matt always gives money, so of course they're going to send you something.
I do. I do, because I remember being in high school and people sending me money. It's like, you got to pay this forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with inflation, kids now are going to get way more money than I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was Monday. It was bittersweet. You know, it's one thing when your son graduates, another when your daughter does. And so, but I was
What about when Georgie graduates next year?
That's going to be a tough one.
The baby.
I was really proud of Jonna. She held it together. She did a good job.
Good.
I was expecting that one to be tough for her. You know, their relationship is,
They're best friends.
They really are. But it was good, man. It was a good week. Then I got some terrible news, and I'd like to talk about that today.
Okay.
So whoever made the decision to close Blue Bayou Water Park for 2025 summer can kiss my ass.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. That's happening? I'm sorry, I would have called you. I would have called you. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Your laziness and selfish way of doing business has robbed so many young people of the much-needed real-life anatomy class you've provided for so long. I mean, how else do you expect kids to learn what the effects of years of Twinkies, meth, and tattoos at 2 a.m. can have on the human body? Saggy titties, poor attempts at pubic hair grooming, and fake gold chains that turn green in chlorine molded me into the man that I am today. And it's a crying damn shame that y'all have chosen to take that away.
You said titties.
I've been a loyal season pass holder as long as I can remember. The ice cream cones, the loaded nachos, they've been a summer staple diet for me. A summer staple in my diet for me since my childhood.
Oh my God.
Matt, whether it was dodging turds in the kiddie pool or convincing my cousins that the condoms floating in the wave pool were jellyfish, Blue Bayou Water Park was our little slice of heaven here in Baton Rouge, and we were proud of it.
Oh. Oh, God.
Sure, there hasn't been a time in the last 10 years when all the slides were open, and yes, the rust and mold that's visible from the interstate on most of the rides is a little concerning, but it's a risk worth taking.
No, it's not.
You're all but guaranteed to get some sort of waterborne illness if you step into Pirates Cove. But once you've had hand, foot, and mouth once or twice, your body starts to build up an immunity.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And listen, the explosive diarrhea from accidentally swallowing water in the lazy river usually doesn't hit till later in the evening. So that one never bothered me that much. I couldn't be more disappointed in the announcement of the closing of Blue Bayou Water Park for the 2025 season. First, it was Thunderbird Beach. That might be a little bit too old for you guys.
Yeah.
Then it was Funfair Park.
Yeah, that happened.
Next, Cortana Mall closed, and now Blue Bayou. We can't have anything nice here in Baton Rouge.
Is Poncho's still open?
Poncho's is closed.
Poncho's.
The Broadmoor Theater's closed.
I know Broadmoor Theater's closed. Bro, when Broadmoor was the Dollar Theater, that was you had to wait a little while to see your movies, but man, $1 to get in.
Snow caps, Skittles.
My buddy Ski loved snow caps. I was Raisinets. Dude,
Raisinets.
Raisinets, popcorn, and a Coke Icy.
Oh.
That's the combo right there.
We can't have anything nice here in Baton Rouge, man.
Can't.
Anyway, I don't know who owns that joint, but y'all can kick rocks, man. That's brutal.
Should Parrish buy it?
I went into Richard's office, didn't laugh, dead serious, straight-faced asked if we could look into it, and he kicked me out of the office.
Good. Glad to know that we have an adult in the room.
As I was looking at the slides from my office window.
Yeah. By the way, if you're not familiar, where Blue Bayou is in Baton Rouge, Parrish Construction and Roofing, our office is directly across the interstate. You walk out the front of our building and you are looking across the interstate straight to Blue Bayou. I mean, we are literally directly across the interstate from each other. They're our across the interstate neighbors.
It's going to be a tough summer.
Just seeing it vacant.
It's going to be tough, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm fired up.
Oh,
because
come on.
because I live right around there, and it's going to be so easy driving down Old Jefferson and not having to deal with all the stupid traffic and parking and all the morons there like you try to go get salmonella from sitting in a wave pool full of turds. Dorks. Freaking adult people going to water parks. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
It's my country club.
I know. It's AFR.
AFR.
Oh, you know where the scones are going tomorrow?
Where are they going?
You know, Mother's Day. We missed.
Oh, Supper Club.
No, Clegg's. Yeah.
Oh.
You were on the right track. You're on the right track. So we always go to Clegg's because Erica, our rule is that I have to go with her, buy all the flowers she wants, and then I have to go plant them. And
That's right.
And I can't complain.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So normally we do it the Saturday before Mother's Day, but last week I think it was weather, and we had some. I had just gotten back from Chicago and stuff. Anyway, so we're going tomorrow. So we'll be at Clegg's on Segan tomorrow. The Scone family. Drew will be there as well. So I'll probably be just following Drew as he runs through up and down every aisle and outside of the green. And Erica just gets one of the big green carts and just pushes them around the greenhouse and loads it up with a bajillion flowers. And then that one's full. It's like supermarket sweep where you fill one basket and then you got to get another one.
Go get another.
Like she's just going to keep filling up carts with flowers. That's what we're doing.
her.
That's it. We're doing that
Get
tomorrow.
America.
Clegg's. Buy local, shop local. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Oh, Muse. On and popping. You finally got one right. Good job, Muse.
Figured you might like
somebody
a
record,
little huh.
Somebody record that. I paid Muso a compliment because he earned it.
Wow. Man, what a Friday.
Take a picture.
Frame it, too. Hang it on the wall, man.
Be the last time for a while.
If ever again.
About 2 minutes from now, Muse is going to go into his own little world. See what time it is?
1 minute.
Oh, yeah, 1 minute.
Couldn't even...
Blast off.
There we go. Light that torch.
Good for you, Muse.
Get it, Muse.
I like that, bro.
You like that a lot.
Burn it down.
What happened to the Tigers last night?
They got baseballed.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I hate no.
Dude, there'd been a couple times though.
They got
there'd been a couple times where. Well, hold on. Let me say this first. Coaching third base sucks. It sucks. Okay, it's like a sack bunt, kind of. You're expected to get it down. If you don't get it down, you're an idiot. You know, like coaching third, you got to take chances sometimes and this and that. So it's not easy. I'm not going to pile on. It's not. There was a couple times where there were some questionable sins a couple weeks ago or last weekend, and it worked out. I mean, you know, runs scored, balls dropped, you know, so I don't know.
That was the most disgusting loss of the season. You're playing a terrible baseball team.
2-run lead.
2-run lead in the eighth. Walk-off wild pitch. You get thrown out at third. What's the rule? You never make the first or the third out of the inning at third base. You get thrown out twice at third base in the same inning. I mean, tell me you ain't seen better running ability at traction on league nights.
Well,
come on, man.
And there was one where, you know, if you just slide, you're probably safe. There's a chance you're safe.
And you got Jordan sitting there telling him to get down.
I mean, if you slide, you're probably safe in one. I mean, you know.
Newt was good. Shores was good.
Shores was
They
good.
gave you 6 innings, man. They held it down for 6 innings. Connor Ware's walking the bases loaded. Oh, what is this?
That's not good.
Walking the it's May 15th, and Connor Ware's walking the bases loaded to lead off the second against a team that can't hit. I mean, give me the ball. I'll throw it over the plate. They may hit it 1.5 miles, but I'll throw it over the plate.
Just let them hit it.
You say it all the time. They're probably going to get themselves out.
Hitting's hard, man. Walking's easy. Hitting's hard. Not easy, man.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah, that was tough.
What did you think about Anderson last week with the forearm wrist thing? When you saw it, what did you think?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see like the movement of the flexing of this, that tells me that there's feeling that's kind of messing around, and you're trying to, you know, nerve stuff. But yeah, that was scary.
You think he's all right?
We'll see.
Yeah.
He's pitching tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay's never forthcoming about injuries. Totally his prerogative. He can say what he wants. I mean, if he wants to be close to the vest, that's fine. I mean, he can run his program how he wants. So I'm not going to sit here and crush him for not saying anything more than he has. But he hasn't exactly given you a lot of reason to be confident that it's okay. Is that fair to say?
I'm confident that it's okay because I don't think he would run him out there.
I agree with you.
In this game, in this series, at this point in the year where your rank is and kind of like, you know, I think you're in a pretty decent spot. He wouldn't run him out there if he didn't think he was fine.
Well, I think that's less to do with the season, the rank, and all that. Just that you're not going to jeopardize Cade Anderson. When I mean, in June, or in July, he's going to. There was a mock draft this week that had him the number 3 pick of the draft. It's like, I mean, how much money has he made himself? It's incredible.
Yep.
And a guy with a 27 ERA last year in the SEC play is going to be the 3rd pick in the draft. I mean, let's call it. He'll be somewhere in the top 15, which is fair to say. I mean, whew.
I think he's the second best left-handed college arm for sure. Could be
behind Doyle, you think?
Yeah, man. I like watching that kid pitch. He's got edge. Yeah, no, it was he's a hell of a pitcher. It was a tough loss last night for sure. There's been a couple of those like that where you're like, man. But, you know, the team's ranked number 1 in the country and reeled off a couple big wins when they needed to. Not going to pile on them. But yeah, there was a couple head scratchers there for sure.
I mean, I remember back in 2018, LSU wet the bed against Arkansas on a Thursday night. You came in here the next day and you eviscerated them. Mm-hmm. And I had a similar feeling watching that game last night. So you being a little passive about it is interesting.
Well, full disclosure, I did not sit down and watch the game. I only watched the highlights.
Okay.
so I didn't get the feel. And I eviscerated them because of effort. You're not going to hear me crush guys on, physical play. Effort, okay, but like execution, yeah, I'll get you on the effort for sure.
That was last night.
Yeah, I didn't see that though.
Whatever.
You got to slide it third.
That was the most.
Let me say this though. I feel like I played the game really hard. You watched me play, quite a bit. I tried to play as hard as I possibly could because I wasn't really gifted physically like everybody else was. I mean, I gave it everything I had. I really did play hard.
If you were 2 inches taller, you'd have been a perennial all-star.
I think so.
But you just didn't have the size to pack the power in your bat, which and maybe a little bit of range.
That's right.
But you carved out a decade-long career.
I gave it everything I had.
Yeah, you did.
And that being said, there was a time when I was at LSU where I strolled in on a home run ball that Trey McClure hit, and I was shaking people's hands, but it really wasn't a home run ball. The guy actually caught it at the wall, and they doubled me off at third base. I was a freshman, and it was a dumb mistake, and it wasn't because I wasn't playing hard. It was just I made, one of those things. I mean, and so I don't know. As long as guys are diving for balls, they're pissed off when they strike out. The coach is pissed off. You see the effort. I'm good.
All right. I just didn't love watching that last night, man. And I can. We talk about it all the time, man. I can handle midweek losses. They got run ruled by Northwestern State this year. I don't care. I didn't crush them for that, so I get it. Like you were in cruise control. The game gets paused for an hour and a half. You go sit in the dugout. You got to come back out, and it just whatever. I don't care. Yeah. Like last night with everything on the line to lose the way you did to the team you lost to was.
I haven't locked in on the film or like sat and watched the guy pitch, but if you look at the stats and if you look at the way the trends are, I feel like Cohen might be tipping his pitches. Guys, I think, are sitting on the off speed, and they've made an adjustment on it. Like he's not going to fool them with the changeup anymore. So that means the fastball location has to be elite and high level.
Because he's 91, 92.
Yeah,
he's not blowing you away.
No. But you can still locate it and make it look like 96 while you're locating the changeup. You just can't miss with the heater.
Yeah. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. I want to come back. We'll come back to Cowan because I think that is an interesting storyline, like what's going on now these last 3 weeks. First South Farm Credit, thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Is you, man. Is your guys.
Yeah, I text
Tim?
Last week. Mm-hmm. He's probably mad at me, though, because I'll text him with like a question that sounds like I'm about to buy something. And then, crickets for like 2 months.
That's just what you do in life.
Tim, I'm going to buy something. I promise, bro. I promise you.
First South.
From you.
First South Farm Credit. Whether it's 100 acres to build your family's dream home, 200 acres to buy that recreational property, your hunting property, Mississippi, Texas, anywhere in Louisiana, Alabama, anywhere in the lower 48, they can help you buy land. It's First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. And if you don't go to First South Farm Credit, you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Terrio.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
Then you can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Bill Belichick, who was once thought of was the greatest or one of the greatest football coaches of all time, is ruining his legacy and what people think. Oh, he absolutely is. Him and his stupid girlfriend.
Who cares?
It's going everywhere with him and, blah, blah, blah. I think it's tired, Bill. Doesn't fit your shtick at all. The players aren't going to respect you in the clubhouse anymore. The locker room. Get her off the field, Bill. She doesn't belong on the field at practice, wearing high heels, and every time a camera's around. So you can kick rocks for that.
Kick rocks.
Bill Belichick is in his 70s. He is dating a hot chick 40 years younger than him and has tens of millions of dollars. I don't think he cares what you or anybody thinks.
That's fine. He doesn't have to care. I didn't say that for him to care. The NBA can kick rocks.
Kick rock.
Fair enough.
The playoffs are going on, and nobody knows about it or even really cares.
I disagree. I watch every night.
I think the NBA. I think the playoffs are way too long. Let me just say that.
Okay, I get down with that.
I remember when they started 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, I get down with that.
Yeah. I think they're way too long, drawn out. Anyway. And then lastly,
You have 4 rounds of best of 7. That's a lot.
Whew.
It is. It's a lot.
A lot to swallow. And this one's hilarious to me. One of my former teammates was arrested with felony charges. He threw a missile at a vehicle. Rafael Furcal, Fuki Mambo. I love Furcal. He's great.
What is Kooky Mambo?
That's just he talks like a gremlin. He's awesome. Fuki Mambo.
Oh, Fuki.
Yeah, he's wonderful teammate. Terrible poker player. Wonderful teammate.
In St. Louis.
Yeah.
Got it.
Took my job, but it was okay because I loved him. Anyway, felony missile charges, throwing missiles. So I'm digging into I'm digging into this story. I'm like, did he throw a missile? Now, if you watch Furcal play, he had a cannon of an arm. I mean, there was a near wreck in a Publix parking lot. Furcal got pissed, hopped out of his truck, started firing rocks at somebody. So he got arrested. Apparently, I guess because he was throwing them so hard, they thought it might be a missile. I don't know what that is. But the headline, missiles can kick rocks. He was throwing rocks at somebody.
Kick rock.
That's it.
He wasn't kicking rocks. He was throwing rocks.
Okay, he throws 1,000 miles an hour. Doesn't mean it's a missile. It's a rock.
He's charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and throwing a missile into a public or private dwelling or vehicle.
Yeah, but it was a rock.
Throwing a rock?
Throwing rocks at people. That's tired,
What defines a missile?
Guess when you throw really hard. Like that's I guess the point I'm getting at. The guy's got a cannon. He throws hard.
He's got a missile.
He's throwing missiles. Like
a
really.
rocket launcher.
Anyway, that's it.
All right. Kick Rocks, brought to you by Ruckus. Went last week without you because you never go whenever I ask you to.
How'd that go?
It's fun. Well, it went really well. Taylor, can you pull this page up? Like that line right there.
Did you get the blues?
I got actually all 3 of those. I got the OG UNC Reimagined, the Jordan Highs. I got the Spiz Ikes. And I actually wore these Jordan Lows with brown. I wore those yesterday. They're awesome because that brown, it's the tan is canvas. And so it's actually an awesome shoe to wear when you need something with brown in it. So like yesterday, my niece Sophia graduated from St. Jude, shout out. So we had her graduation party dinner last night. So I threw on a sport coat, had some brown in it, wore those.
I love.
How you like me now?
I love the lows. I like the Spizite.
Yep, copped them.
Oh man, I gotta go.
I went to Ruckus last week.
Go up a little bit on that page.
How about those? It's pinks. Look at those.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
No, go to the other ones. Where's the breeds? The ones right next to that? That's what I like. Oh wait, never mind. I'll call you back.
Which one?
The 11s. Yeah, you know.
Oh, here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think those are kids. Oh, no, those are adults. Never mind. No, they're youth. They're youth sizes.
Go to Ruckus. Buy some cool stuff. They got it over there.
Stay AFR. Stay here.
AFR.
Call our friends over at Duplessis Builders. You're like, Terry, you're going to be building a pool soon. Better call Duplessis Builders. Maybe you bought a house that has a pool and it needs updating. I mean, let's be honest. Pools can get dated just like curtains can get dated or carpet or wallpaper or anything can get dated. Mm-hmm. So if you need to update and upgrade, renovate your pool, outdoor kitchen, our friends over at Duplessis Builders can help you there as well. You know, but if you're starting from scratch building a pool, I tell you this all the time, they're upfront. Expect a 2-month process from the first time you walk in and start imagining what your plans are going to look like. You pick out the tiling, the coping, all the settings, all the fixtures, all the features, all those finishing touches to excavating all the way through the entire process. It's going to be about 2 months. They take the time to do it right because they build a product that lasts. I love the quote from Gucci. Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. It's DuplessisBuilders.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Shake it fast, watch yourself. Shake it fast, show me what you're working with. Shake it fast, watch yourself. Shake it fast.
Shout out Don Juan Cigar Bar, man. T-Bob's last day, he and I had a lot of good times over at Don Juan for whiskey and wine.
Y'all did.
You know. I was thinking about, don't tell him. I was thinking about, man, I don't want to say this on air because it might get back to him. I have an idea for a parting gift for him.
When does he leave? Like, when's he out of here?
So he's got to be in Chicago next week for some stuff with Barstool. But I know Caitlin and the kiddos are here till they're done with school.
Right.
And the family has a place in Toledo Bend, so they can spend part of the summer there, and then they'll sort of make the move. I'm not trying to give away all the guys playing, but I think he's talked about this. But probably they got a spot that they're going to rent for a while until they figure out where exactly they want to settle permanently. But it'll be good. What do you think about Chicago? I mean, you live there.
Chicago in the summer, man. I don't know of a better place. I mean, it's the lake and the Cubbies, and there's just always something going on, and a festival and a concert. And dude, Chicago in the summer is a special place.
Everybody says you put up with the other 9 months for the 90 days in the summer.
I mean, it's and look, depending on where you live too, you can be in your own little community. I mean, that you really never have to leave. If you could walk to the grocery store, you can walk to get dinner at certain different places, you can walk to go shopping. And one of the unique things that I loved about it, and this is right up T-Bob's alley. Holy moly.
I love that.
They would have block parties like real block parties that people, that you would have. It would be these guys' turn this week, and then all summer, and
in
so
the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yep. And
that's RPP though, bro. That's rich people problems, bro.
Is it?
I mean, who's having like what? Who's having a block party every week where one house is footing the bill for the whole neighborhood?
It was like, it was like the summer thing. Like that was like the thing.
Yeah. Y'all got anything like that going on where
That's the only time I've ever
footing the
done
bill
it.
for your whole neighborhood?
That's the only time I've ever done it.
No, I'm not going to do
Taylor?
that. Yeah, no,
Taylor,
sorry.
you?
I know one of my neighbors. No.
No.
But it was like, no, it's not like you're not like throwing down. I mean, you may go get, a couple things for the kids and barbecue, and it was like one of those deals. It wasn't like some big production, but anyway.
It's a block party.
That's kind of what it was.
Ray said, ask Ryan. I guess we're a little preemptive here to ask Ryan, but why not? Favorite T-Bob story? You got a favorite T-Bob story, you?
Oh, man. The first time that we actually really, like, connected and talked, and I don't even know if he remembers it, was at the St. George Fair. He was with the kiddos, and my boy was having more fun than all the other kids there. Like, he was getting it, loving the St. George Fair. I'm a listener too, by the way, in the mornings when I would bring the kids to school. So when he would do his deal, what is it, for the football games?
The Song of Purple and Gold thing in 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
That was good.
That was real good. I thought that was funny. Yeah, man. Big personality. Awesome dude. And Chicago's right up his alley. He's going to kill it up there.
All right, that's to further review Riot Radio Hours. You can email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you get involved in the show. LSU and South Carolina game 2, about an hour and 20 minutes away from first pitch. We'll have Mincy in about 20 minutes. We'll do some picks for the final weekend of the regular season. And we will, when the lineup's posted, get to the lineup for game 2 with LSU and South Carolina, game 2 of the series. At this point, how do you feel about what they're doing as far as like shortening the rotation a little bit? Are there guys you'd like to see them lean on a little more right now?
I mean, you're gonna have to find like a fourth or fifth guy that you can really count on. I mean, if you look at the teams that had success and actually won championships, got to Omaha. I mean, I think right now the team's good enough to get there, but to actually win the thing, there's going to have to be some surprises that step up and really throw the ball well. I've loved what I've seen with Chase Shores. Do you lean on him even more and maybe change his role a touch? I don't think so.
What do you think changing his role means?
I mean, start him. I know we tried that experiment and it didn't work out too good, and so he's kind of hit his stride where he is now. But I think you need an arm for a spot start or two that you can really rely on.
What about Evans? Because they've tried him in that role for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd rather him in the pen personally.
Same.
Schmidt has struggled the last 3 or so outings. Yeah, really, ever since Jay said you're not going to see him pitch on Tuesdays anymore.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you can't afford to take the risk or the chance at this point, And so, if it's a high leverage situation, somebody that can just go in there and just throw strikes. You made the comment earlier, like, I don't care if you hit it 1.5 miles, like, just give me some strikes, and that's really the guy you're looking for. Rizzi has kind of flashed a little bit. Man, I don't see how guys hit him, but they do. So one of those fellas is going to have to step up and really give him some innings, because you have as good a 1-2 punch as anybody in the country right now.
I'll tell you, one guy you will see this weekend is Jacob Myers.
And he's throwing the ball great, by the way.
I was having some conversations yesterday, and I will tell you, it's made pretty clear to me that there's two guys that they feel like have to emerge in this postseason run for whatever it's going to be, and it's Chase Shores and Jacob Myers. Because the stuff is undeniable. If they command it, they're unhittable, and you can use them in different spots. Myers is the guy, if you got less than 2 outs and runners in scoring position, you can go get your strikeout, right? And Shores is the guy that has dominance. I mean, throws 100 and can give you some length if you need it. So those are the two, I think.
I mean, Myers throws 100 too. I mean, we're talking about two electric arms.
And the thing about Myers also is it's different from Myers because of his release point. He's a true over the top,
Mhm.
and
Downward
so
angle,
it's that angle that it creates. It's why when he misses, he misses up because of where his release point is. So, and I don't know this. There's people explaining this to me that would know way better than me, but they're really bullish on needing Shores and Myers to be the two guys. Like internally, that's what they feel like are the two guys they've identified. That in addition to Anderson, Ians, the guys we know, Anderson, Ianson, Cowan, Evans, those.
And I think Shores,
Rizzi's in that mix as well.
Yeah, I think Shores is there. I mean, I've seen enough the last few weeks to go, okay, this guy's graduated. Like he's there now. I mean, he's really thrown the ball. I was wanting him to actually stay in the game last night, truthfully.
I agree with you. You had a 2-run lead going into the 8th. Cowan has gotten you 6-out saves all year long. I have no problem. I say it all the time. Like, I can live with the result if the logic behind what you did makes sense. And giving the ball to Zach Cowan, needing 6 outs, up 2 runs on the road against South Carolina, I have no problem with that. Because if you left Shores in there and Shores gives up the lead, you're going, you had Cowan, why didn't you give him the ball? So I'm okay with what they did. I understand. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But we've seen them all season give the ball to Cowan and get 6 outs. So I have no problem with them making the decision they did. But the thing I did want to ask to follow up was why you think Cowan's tipping pitches.
Because they're hitting the changeup and they weren't hitting it early. That's why. I mean, that's the only. Do you
think he's tipping, or do you think it's just that the more good hitters have seen him, there's more of a book on him?
I mean, that could be it too. They could just be sitting on the changeup. I mean, there's certain guys that have an elite out pitch. Back in the day, it was Trevor Hoffman with this splitty. You remember Carlos Marmol, the closer with the Cubs, with his slider was just electric. And guys would just look for it, where generally hitters are sitting fastball and kind of adjusted to the breaking ball, and so, yeah, I mean, they could be just sitting on the changeup. But the hard part is, I mean, a changeup coming out of your hand looks exactly like a fastball. So it's really hard to sit on that pitch. You're really just sitting velocity. If he can still locate the heater, it doesn't matter. The hitter can't tell what pitch is coming. And that's why it makes a changeup the best pitch in baseball if you can throw it effectively, because it looks just like a fastball or split finger fastball. Same thing too. It looks just like a fastball coming at you. But it would make sense if they had something on him, because it looks like to me the swings that they're getting off on him, and even if you look at the stat sheet, is much different than it was early on in the year. But also a hitter could just say, you know what, I'm giving up the inner third of the plate. I'm gonna stay up the middle, and I'm not gonna let him get me out in front on a changeup. If he jams me with a fastball, he just jams me with a fastball. They also could be doing that, but the Carolina hitters aren't good enough to do that.
All right, it's after further review. Let's talk about our final break of hour number 2, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll do Ask Ryan next. Get your questions in for Terrio. Email us, tweet us, text us, ask anything about anything. Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour next.
After further review.
Got a text earlier today from my buddy Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Chuck.
Did. Send me a text earlier today. Want me to read it?
Yeah. What did he say?
Said, my aunt called me this morning with an AC emergency. Said her home warranty wouldn't be able to send somebody out until Monday. She asked, what should I do? I said, call River City's 1 Hour Air. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. Britton came out. Same guy did my house last year after LSU won the College World Series. He was professional, courteous, thorough. Gave her the diagnosis along with the options. Fixed the problem. Got it done. She couldn't be happier. Tell people all the time, if Matt Moscona endorses them, you can book it. They're a quality company. River City's 1 Hour. How about that?
I like that.
752-0001, 752-0001. Head into the weekend, you might say, wait till Monday. Nope. Not at River City's 1 Hour Air. They work nights, holidays, weekends. And they'll never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, weekends. Give them a buzz. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Get to ask Ryan. You can ask Terrio anything about anything. Email us. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona at 1045 ESPN. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or text
You.
You loved it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go hit the batting cages over there?
Yeah, I did that. Rode the go-karts. Played putt-putt.
Brought to you by Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Have y'all done windows at your new house yet?
No, but we are.
Yeah.
We have to. Mm-hmm.
Really is something. I'll tell you, whenever Eric and I bought our first home, and when we came home with Drew, one of the first things we did was, so Drew's bedroom faced the street. And so we had them come install one of the noise-canceling glass windows to lower the noise in his room. At our new house, when we moved in, one of the first things we did was you've been in the den area, the big open floor plan, where it's just a big giant wall of windows makes an L looking out on all the back. We had them come in and install floor-to-ceiling picture windows right there, the energy-efficient windows, because it makes that room so much cooler. It's Relief Windows. Windows, door siding, shutters as well. ReliefWindows.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Are brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
This is SportsCenter.
San Fran locks up their man. I'm Chris Smith. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter that the Niners and quarterback Brock Purdy are finalizing a 5-year, $265 million contract that includes $181 million in guaranteed money. And ESPN host Harry Douglas says Purdy is now under the microscope.
If there are a boatload of injuries that happen to the San Francisco 49ers like we seen last year, yeah, I gave you the benefit of the doubt a season ago. But you also wasn't making $53 million a year. Now you're making that, and I don't care who's out there, who's not out there. I expect you to elevate your football team and still make plays.
Heard on ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry. Purdy, the last pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, earned a total of $2.6 million over his first 3 NFL seasons. But with the new average salary of $53 million, he will get paid more per week under his new deal than he did over the first 3 years of his career combined. At the PGA Championship on ESPN, Jonathan Vegas remains atop of the leaderboard at 8 under and a 2-stroke lead on Matthew Pavon and Matt Fitzpatrick. And it's a crucial Game 6 between the Celtics and Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Coverage begins in 90 minutes on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go! You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back?
I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
With Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio.
Let me find out you wearing Spanx to hide your gut. Let me find out your stomach bigger than your butt. Let me find out them booty pads underneath.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Taylor Sharp. Mioso. Hey! We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Jimmy?
Yeah.
By the way, there was one more Ask Ryan I wanted to get to. I forgot to. Shout out to Don, at Don the Dude 85 on Twitter, who said, how good does Terrio think he is at poker?
I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty decent. Yeah.
Stole a lot of people's money?
Well, I think I was just a smart player. I would just wait till folks would be overserved, and that's when I would get in the game.
Love it. By the way, guys, pretty good at poker. Barstool Mincy. Got to hang out with Mincy in Chi-Town last week. Mincy, how are you?
Man, I'm doing well, and this is definitely one of the funnier spots I've done a radio segment from. I'm at this pre-party on Daniels Island in Charleston, South Carolina. I just took a ferry over here from downtown Charleston. This place is absolutely raging right now.
What are you doing there?
I've got a wedding. So my sister's best friend getting married tomorrow in Charleston, and lo and behold, Widespread Panic happened to be there during this wedding. So
Nice.
I'm about to go to this.
Oh, wouldn't that be?
What a coincidence. So I'm going to this concert like the next hour.
How many times have you seen Widespread Panic?
I just know it's over 200. I quit counting at that point.
That's amazing. I mean, I know you're a big fan, but that's like.
Yeah, dude.
Have you met Michelle Southern, our operations manager?
I met her when I'm during my 3-month cup of coffee down there.
She and her husband are, like you, gigantic Widespread Panic fans. I think they've seen them like 200 times.
Yeah, it's always like hilarious. People always ask me what I like more, like Panic, Ole Miss football, or NOLA, and like. I don't know. I think Panic may be winning, which is maybe a sad confession.
I don't know, man. Hey, to each their own.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was great to see you in Chicago, man. I thought the Jason Barrett conference was really funny. Really enjoyed that. I got some backlash at work from my little story about Brandon Walker, which was really funny. The whole yak was about it. Yeah, things are good. And baseball-wise, man, huge weekend, last week of the year. I wasn't, I'll be honest, I think I told about today. I thought the LSU might trip up last night. I wasn't actually the most shocked.
Look, they pitched off, so I get it. But at the same time, you don't have any business losing that game, at least the manner in which they lost it. But, hey, before we get to today's picks, obviously you got a new coworker now. It's been so now, Mitzi, you and I were talking about it. I wasn't disclosing anything to you last week, but it got done. It was already done that the T-Bob was coming. So, man, what's been the reaction up there at the Barstool office?
Man, everybody's so pumped. The really good thing, I think his trajectory up there is going to be so huge. Brandon Walker likes T-Bob a lot. And so he's going to get to do a lot of that college football with him, which is going to be, huge for him. And then, man, everybody's just super excited. Like you obviously worked with him for a long time. He works hard. He's got such an eccentric, funny personality that plays so well with our audience. So I think it's overwhelmingly great. And as I've said before, I mean, I thought T-Bob played an huge role, as did yourself, in helping me out on the way up. And I think it's really full circle that he gets to join now.
Yeah, man. I know he's fired up. Today was T-Bob's last day here at ESPN Baton Rouge. He'll be heading up to Barstool. So wishing him the best up there. I know he's going to crush it. But yeah, it was interesting. Mincy and I last week were trying to have this. I know you're trying to pry a little bit, but I wasn't really budging on what I knew or could say. But it was just a matter of time. I knew Wednesday was the announcement. So. Y'all take good care.
I saw the OTB announcement this morning too. Pretty great selection. I think that as always, Guarantee Media and ESPN Baton Rouge charge y'all. Y'all are hard to face.
Yeah, man. Matt Flynn's going to be great. We're excited to lock him in. All right, let's get to some picks. Muse, hit it if you would.
Play ball!
It's time to cash some tickets. Let's preview the college baseball weekend with Ben Mintz of Barstool Sports, presented by the DraftKings Sportsbook.
All right, 3 picks each. Taylor, did Paul send you the updated graphic?
I do not have it.
Okay, no updated graphic. I was in Chicago, so I didn't give picks. Muse, how did you and Mincy do last week?
Mincy, if you want to tell them how you did, you were phenomenal. I stunk it up.
Let's go.
Yeah, I went 3-0.
That a bit. All right, let's give it up for Mincy there. Cash
It was good.
tickets.
It was a
Here
great day
we
for
go.
Mincy. I think I went 1 and 2.
All right. So I didn't pick. I wasn't here last week. So is it final weekend of the season? Let's see how we do. Mincy, you want to start us off with your first play?
Yeah, I did. This is hilarious. I've been getting just mobbed by stories the last 20 minutes here. So first, it's just a panic thing. It's like, anyway. All right, first pick I got. I don't know if it started yet, but boys, time to old yeller the Texas A&M Aggies. I mean, I know you love talking about it. Like, you get swept at home by an 0-24 team, and then they get blown out at Georgia last night. They're deader than fried chicken. Georgia minus 2.5 runs against them. This A&M thing is over, and it's just the Aggies just choke. There's no getting around it. And I'm pissed at them, so I'm going to take out some prescription.
Muse, what you got?
I'm actually starting in the Big 12. Man, West Virginia, they look like they've had such a great season. They really hadn't played anybody with a pulse when it comes to the RPI. Now they're starting to. Got swept by Kansas State. Lost the opener to Kansas last night. I like the Jayhawks to take the series tonight. Plus money on the money line. 114. Give me the Jayhawks.
I'm sorry, you're taking Kansas, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Giant weekend. You know what, Mincy? The first game I had written down, I was gonna take a flyer on A&M plus 2.5, and you might have just convinced me not to do it. So I was searching for another game. I do love Oregon with a ton to play for, but they're minus 166 on the money line. I think our cutoff is 150, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, so can I take Oregon money?
I think it's 180.
Yeah.
All right. Give me Oregon on the money line at Iowa. All right, Mincy, what's your second? You just completely moved me off my A&M pick.
Yeah.
And that means
they're just dead. They got blown out last night. They're dead.
Maybe, but in that bitty ballpark and the way A&M can swing it, they can run into some, and I mean, 2.5 just feels like a lot against an offensive team, a team that has big offensive potential in an offensive ballpark. But anyway, I'll pick Oregon money line. All right, second one.
Well, I'm also mad at them, so maybe my logic is flawed.
I know.
All right, my second pick is under 10 in Tennessee, Arkansas. Liam Doyle, they held him till Friday, so he didn't pitch last night. Arkansas is a really good number 2 starter too, so I'm going under 10 with Doyle on the mound there.
Muse?
Yeah. I'm going to Oxford, and I'm going to take the Auburn Tigers in a bounce-back spot. They got everything that Hunter Elliott had to offer last night. He was fantastic, 7 shutout. But Sam Dutton's going to go tonight. You're on to number 2 for Ole Miss. Auburn, obviously, trying to lock in a national seed as well. Give me Butch Thompson's crew, minus $1.35 on the money line to bounce it back.
Missouri, Mississippi State, under 16. I just always blind bet the biggest number.
You see the score of that game last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Missouri.
Stay hot, Otter.
Missouri, Mississippi, right? Oh, God.
First thing I thought of.
Bro, whenever, the amount of people that were texting me last, because, by the way, he, yesterday, Mincy, Otter gave Missouri, and I was like, no. Like, I'm not spending my money on – I will not bet my money on Missouri ever. No, I will not do it. So, yes, I got a lot of messages last night.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was
give me
rough.
Missouri, Mississippi State under 16 in this ballgame. What you got for the
That-
third one,
that's-
Mincy?
That's funny. I remember last week when you got to Chicago, Ott was on South Carolina at Auburn, and they lost.
He was. That's true. He was. I remember
I
that. Yeah.
wouldn't want to bring that up, but you know.
They lost that game 24-2, as a matter of fact.
Because someone sent me the screenshot of the box score, and Mincy and I were sitting together, and I showed like, this was Ott's pick tonight.
Right.
Oh,
Our
man.
guy.
All right, what's your third one, Mincy?
Third one, I'm going to go under 11 in Texas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, what's going on? Oklahoma's got a good pitching staff. Texas plays lower scoring games. I mean, I don't know. That's what I got. Should be a hard-fought game.
All right.
I'm also going over to Iowa, and I'm also on the Oregon Ducks, but I'm taking them minus a run and a half, minus 110. They won that game 10-0 a night ago, run rule fashion. I think they win by multiple runs again. So give me Oregon on the run line, minus 110.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
I got a money line, a 4-team money line parlay.
All right.
All right, here we go. LSU, Oregon State, UCLA, and Mississippi State. A 4-team money line parlay that comes back at minus $1.19. There it is.
There you go.
There, I thought about taking under 13.5 in that LSU game, man. Ian's a stealing. That's a high line.
Well, it's gonna be Anderson tonight.
Oh, it's Anderson. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
That makes it Thursday, Friday. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? It's just as good.
Yeah, Anderson and Ianson have been awesome. I'm curious to see how it goes, but yeah. All right, Mincy, we appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend there in South Carolina.
Man.
Enjoy the festivities.
All right, but
All right, man. Be well. That is Barstool Mincy. I'll get him on Twitter, all the places. Take good care, man, of T-Bob up there. What you think about any of that, Mr. The Riot?
I think that all sounds great.
Great.
Yep. I think all those picks sound really good.
For a guy that's a poker player and stuff, not interested in the sports betting stuff, what do you think about Pete Rose? They lifted his ban. Well, he's not alive anymore, so his lifetime ban is no longer alive, so his lifetime ban is lifted.
I hate that. I hate that they waited the way they did.
Yeah.
The Shoeless Joe Jackson ban lift was interesting.
Why would they do that 100 years later?
Yeah, I mean I think there was 8 of them that got lifted. Those folks. I mean, are they gonna let Bonds in? Are they gonna let McGuire in? Are they gonna let that's
not as long as the
alive?
old curmudgeons that are the sports writers that are voters are still living.
Yeah, so
it'll
those guys
be
have to
different.
die?
It'd be a Shoeless Joe type situation.
Yeah, they'll die, then they'll put them in.
Yeah, 50 years from now, 100 years from now.
No, man, those sports writers will all be dead soon. Like they were old when I was.
They're
when
old.
I was
Yeah,
playing.
you're right there. Life expectancy's longer now.
Not for sports writers.
Did they know that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I'm sure.
Protect Peter Gammons at all costs, okay?
Yeah. He's good. Old Pete.
Are the Steelers going to trade for Chris Olave? Talk about that next.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions. Tell you all the time what Glow is by telling you what they aren't. They are not a temp staffing agency. No, that's not what they do.
Nope.
So if you're an employee looking for a job, do not contact Glow Resources.
Nope, not them.
They will find you. If you're a business owner and you need the right people, contact Glow Resources. Yeah. If you're an operations manager, an HR manager, if you're in charge of hiring, if you need skilled blue-collar labor, doesn't matter what industry you're in, roofing, maritime, ad agencies, insurance agencies, anything. Legal firms, accounting offices,
really,
anything. You need the right people to make your business the most efficient it can be. Glow Resources will find those people. They got offices all over the country. They're based right here in Baton Rouge. GlowResources.com. GLO, glowresources.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your...
Further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
I pull up in that yard, 240 on the dash. Smart gangster, I can make a treasure out of trash. Son and knees, they respect me like a dad. Just another gangster, yeah, Woody, I'm a jag.
All right, starting lineup's been posted for Game 2, LSU and South Carolina. We'll get to that here in about 10 minutes from right now. We'll also have time for Ask Ryan. So you can get your questions in for Ask Ryan as we roll along here on a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Never heard of Adam Crowley. Don't know who he is. But Adam Crowley apparently is a radio guy, and he is with 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. Adam Crowley on his show on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh apparently floated out a rumor that the Steelers are working on a trade for Saints wide receiver Chris Olave. So someone put that out there, and Crowley went quote tweet and said, to be clear, I had someone who would be in the know text me, quote, Chris Olave. So he didn't say anything other, but if someone just texts you a name, he's assuming that the Steelers are working on a trade for Chris Olave. So a couple of things here as we work through like what might make sense. Chris Olave is 24 years old. Remember, former Saints first-round draft pick. And the first 2 years of his career, I mean, out the chute, back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start his career. The problem is he's had an injury history, most notably concussions. As a matter of fact, Darren Rizzi this past season, after Olave ended up getting shut down for the season, was asked if these concussion issues could be career-ending.
I think he's taking it day to day, and when I say that, I mean like, all right, so is he ready to go anytime soon? Is he ready to go next week? Is he ready to go next month? And he's kind of looking at the whole thing. I think he's really smart in the process he's taking with the medical people, not just in our building, but outside of our building, some specialists. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet, though, Jeff. I mean, listen, everything's on the table. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you it's not, but I can't sit here and tell you we've even broached that yet.
Okay, so that was during last season. Now enter Kellen Moore. And Grandma Gail, she's so good. I wish she'd fire Mickey Loomis, but other than that, she's so good. This was April the 1st. So, again, right after the start of the league year, Kellen Moore gave an update on Chris Olave.
Obviously, the player from our perspective, Chris is a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player has had a huge impact on this team. He's going to have a huge impact from a medical side. On my side, it's just education and understanding the circumstances he is in. Obviously, we feel very comfortable with Chris. Understand he's been through a lot the last year or two, and so we feel like there's a plan in place to continue to let him progress. And certainly, I get the feeling that he's really, really excited about this opportunity.
Okay, so when you look at the Saints situation and the why this rumor might make sense, a couple of parts of it. Number one, the Steelers just traded George Pickens to Dallas. So that component of it means the Steelers are looking for an elite wide receiver. They just traded an elite wide receiver to Dallas. Okay, so they're looking at someone who might be able to be a number one for them that they can get at a relatively inexpensive cost. Olave's still on his rookie deal. He just finished his 3rd year in the league, so he has this season. The Saints picked up his 5th-year option, so he's got 2 more years under his rookie deal, and the Steelers, in theory, should be able to get him relatively inexpensively. For example, just for context, the George Pickens deal, Pittsburgh sent Pickens and a 2027 6 to Dallas in exchange for a 2026 3rd-round pick and a 2027 5th-round pick. So basically, they did a pick swap in 27, and they get a 2026 3rd-round pick in this upcoming draft for George Pickens. I mean, if you're the team acquiring the player and the player helps you win now, that's a relative bargain.
Absolutely.
So from Pittsburgh's perspective, if they're able to flip that, in essence, great. Remember, the Saints traded Marshawn Lattimore and essentially got that. They got a 3, basically, from Washington, which didn't they turn that 3 into Jonas Anchor? Isn't that who they picked with? I think that was the pick that they used for Jonas Anchor, the safety. So in any event, if you're the New Orleans Saints, the question is, would you rather retain a young player with an injury history, or would you rather get future assets? And for me, I'm ready to fire sale the whole thing. Any player on the Saints roster that has value that you can trade, in my opinion, you do it. The problem with so many veteran players is guys like Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu. These are older players with ballooned contracts that make it almost impossible to move them. That was the problem with Derek Carr. In restructuring his deal, no one was going to trade for Derek Carr knowing you were going to have to give him $40 million. So, I mean, Kat Terrell was with us and kind of explained that whole situation, and it's very obvious. Like, why would someone give you an asset to take on an aging player on a bad contract? You're not. So, if you have young assets that you can move, and someone's willing to give you a future asset that lets you get younger and less expensive, then I'm for it. And there's also the giant question about Chris Olave's health.
Yeah.
So if you can get something for him at this point, you do it. Now, you're also looking at probably working in a rookie quarterback this year in Tyler Shuck, and he's got to have somebody to throw to. And so Olave, Shaheed coming back off an injury, the thought is give Shuck a full deck to see what he looks like. If you remove Olave from the mix there, that's a challenge. But as we look at Chris Olave, I mean, you did just sign Brandon Cooks, who at this point in his career is an older Chris Olave. So, and I get it, he was the deep threat at one point. He's not that anymore. So, I mean, they're physically on the same guy, just 7 years apart. So maybe it's a thing where you trade Olave, you've got Cooks and Shaheed, you try to acquire another veteran inexpensively somewhere along the way, roster cuts or whatever. you make it through this year, but really you're just showing you're building toward the future. You were traded. I mean, you dealt with this in your career. Like, what do you think about that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, look, the trading process, depending, a guy like Olave who was drafted by the Saints, assuming it's a good relationship and he enjoys where he's at, the trading process sucks. I mean, it's just not a whole lot of fun. But when the team's losing and you don't see winning games in the future or near future, you want out. I mean, you want to go somewhere where you can win and win fast. Losing sucks. So, if I'm Olave, I'm going, yeah, absolutely. Let me go somewhere where I have a chance to win some games. Nothing is worse than showing up to the ballpark knowing that you're not going to win, knowing that you're the underdog, you're behind the 8 ball. I mean, that makes for a really bad situation and feeling. So in that sense, if I'm him, I would want to go. When I was traded, we were actually good. Like, we'd been good for 3 or 4 years leading up to that, and there was an opportunity to maybe do something cool. And 4 or 5 years later, it actually happened in Chicago. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the asset piece, and if you can get young, you get young. But back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons on a team that's not great, and that just doesn't happen every year. I mean, I get the uncertainty on the concussion side.
What do you think about from the team's perspective? I mean, because
I think it's unfair to the guy that you drafted to go play quarterback to throw him out there with an aging Brandon Cooks. I mean, that stinks. I don't think that they think Shook's gonna be the answer. At least I hope they don't for the next 10 years.
Oh, I think they think that. Oh, they drafted him to be.
No, I know they did.
Now, whether he will be or not, but they did extensive research in this draft to find that guy for Kellen Moore, and they identified Dart and Shuck. They weren't able to get Dart. The Giants traded back in round 1, took him. They were patient, waited. Shuck was there at 40. They took him. I think they are trying to see what they have and see if Tyler Shuck can be their franchise quarterback.
If that's the case, you got to keep Olave. I mean, there's nothing worse than throwing a guy out there and giving him nothing to work with.
I mean, Olave, as a rookie, had 1,042 receiving yards. In year 2, he went for 1,123, but this past year he played in just 8 games because of the concussion issues. For me, I think it's less a question of the productivity. It's more a concern over the concussions. He's small.
Was there some character stuff with him? Was there some? I feel like maybe it wasn't him. No. I think you got to keep the guy, man.
You're balancing a couple of things here. I think you're balancing the potential short-term success of Tyler Shuck as a rookie, or your ability to build a winner long-term. And my perspective is, I got to have a long-term vision here.
Well, but if he's healthy though, let's say the concussions aren't chronic. Let's assume that he got his bell rung a few times and had some issues, and just like a lot of guys do, and that's not going to happen. I mean, if that's the case, then you 100% want this guy catching balls, right?
Maybe, but here's the difference. That just my perspective, and I don't know that there's a right or a wrong.
And was he a first round?
He was.
Yeah.
That was the year where they had 2 first-round picks. They did the deal with Philly. They took Olave and Penning in the same draft. But I think as I look at this, it really is a matter of what is your approach. Are you trying to win now, or are you thinking long-term vision build? Because if you're not going to be competitive this year, and I don't think they will be,
I don't either,
then Chris Olave doesn't help you win this year. So if you're thinking toward the 2026 season and draft, if I can accumulate more assets for that draft, that's going to help me get younger and more talented. I'm thinking 26, 27. Then remember also, 26 would be Olave's final season on his rookie deal. So then you have to decide if you're going to pay him.
Yeah.
And are you really going to invest number 1 wide receiver money into a receiver who's undersized with a concussion history? I can't say that you do. So do you end up seeing him walk in 2 years anyway?
That's a good point.
So that it's just, for me, the perspective that I have had on New Orleans now for 3 years. I am ready and have been ready for them to push the full reset button and start planning for their future. But it's pretty clear that Mickey Loomis has been trying to win another one now. And with Sean Payton and Drew Brees, I fully endorse that. But when Brees retired, I was willing to take a look at it with Jameis. Like, could you, because bringing in Jameis, the concept was the same as when you brought in Breeze. Young veteran, discarded by the team that drafted him, and this is a big difference from Carr, because people have been throwing this at me. Carr was 32.
Yeah.
Like, he was 9 years into his career. We knew it. There was a large enough sample. Jameis had a 5,000-yard season. Mm-hmm. And there was a reason to believe, look, this guy was the number one pick in the draft. Put him with Sean Payton and let him sit behind Drew Brees for a year. Maybe he could flourish. So I got that. And by the way, they were 5-2 through 7 games before he tore his ACL. Who knows what that could have been? So I was good with that process. But when that unraveled, you were done.
Yeah.
You were done. Like, but they tried to run it back again with Carr while the rest of the roster kept aging and you kept getting more expensive and digging yourself deeper in a hole, and it was just the wrong path. And I think now with Carr's retirement and a new head coach, they've come to the understanding they're not capable of winning now. And even if they thought they were going to try with Derek Carr, the league has shown Carr's retirement and everything else around has shown them, like, you're not competing. Mm-hmm. So you have to start taking a longer-term vision. And while it sucks to get rid of a young player who could be very talented, you've got to think more long-term if that's what you're building towards. And yes, so if I can trade Chris Olave, not have to pay him a second contract in a year and a half, and I can get assets in the 26 and potentially 27 draft, then I'm here for it. Yes, trade any asset that you had that you can get value for that's going to help you get younger and less expensive. Because then guess what? You can go into free agency and spend money on a veteran player that fits what you want that could be out there.
And at that moment, those contracts that you're talking about should be off the books, right?
By 27?
Yeah, by 27. Mm-hmm.
You will have gone through this reset after the 25 season. Carr's $30 million comes off. You're still going to have $30 million against the cap for Carr in 2026, but that's better than $60 million. Mm-hmm. And the cap's going to go up, so you're going to get more relief, and you're going to have money to spend to be able to build your roster again through veteran free agency and more draft assets. So I'm just at that point now where I kind of look at everybody and I say, if it's a fire sale. If anybody on this roster has trade value and you could trade them to get that salary off your books and get younger and get future assets to make you younger, you do it. This year's going to suck, but that just means you've got to hit on your draft picks and rebuild that way. So again, this is just one radio guy's report out of Pittsburgh that the Steelers are interested in Olave. But if the Pittsburgh Steelers are calling Mickey Loomis, he's got to answer the phone, and he's got to find a way. You're not just going to give him away for pennies on the dollar, but if there's a deal on the table that gets you requisite value, then yes, I say you do the deal. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us, y'all. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you for being here with us. Lineups posted for Game 2 LSU South Carolina. We'll run through it next. We'll get to Ask Ryan to wrap up the show here in about 15 minutes. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
AFR.
Weekend is upon us. Need to go make your groceries with your mom and them?
Mm-hmm.
Rouse's. Official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Y'all get on by Rouse's. Maybe if you're driving by this Friday night, you don't want to make dinner. You know what's great about Rouse's? You can go into their hot bar, and you can get something for anyone in the family over at Rouse's. Maybe you want boiled crawfish or shrimp. They got the hot and boiled kiosk. They got that. Maybe you want sushi. They got grab-and-go sushi options. Got that for you. Maybe you're going to get a little funky. Have a little party this weekend out by the pool or whatever it may be. How about this? Bonanza Cabernet Sauvignon. I do love Bonanza. It's really good wine. $14.99. You're saving $8 a bottle. Oh, my God. That's the lowest price by law. It says right here, it's the lowest price allowed by law. $14.99 for a bottle of Bonanza. Oh, that's Camus's little brother. It's amazing. Yeah. Try it. Get it anyway. Taka, Sky. Look at all this stuff. Great stuff. Rouse's.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, lineups posted. Game 2, LSU and South Carolina. First pitcher about 23 minutes from right now. They're going to stick with what they did yesterday. Curiel Jones, Dickinson, Fry, DHs, bats cleanup. Hernandez, Josh Pearson, and right. Then Milam, Braswell, Stanfield. So Curiel Jones, Dickinson, Fry, Hernandez, Pearson, Milam, Braswell, Stanfield. With Carolina throwing a lefty, why Pearson's in there. I hate it. You'll know it. I've said it all year. Your thoughts?
I mean, Jake Brown has to be playing. I mean, and look, I'm not going to crush kids, but you know what you're going to get from Josh Pearson. He late in a ball game, he's going to give you a hell of an at bat. He's going to get you a clutch hit. He's been a great Tiger. Okay, Jake Brown, to me, is a major league player. I think he has that type of ability. I know the average isn't where it needs to be against lefties, but I just think he if I'm writing that lineup, his name is in the lineup every single game.
How do you have an opportunity to raise your average against lefties if you don't get to hit against lefties?
Yeah, you don't.
And by the way, and everybody knows how I feel because I've been yelling about this all season. It is nonsensical. I think Jay has been stubborn with this. He's the coach. He can do what he wants. His team is lineup. Jake Brown in conference is hitting .294. Your conference batting average: Stanfield 330, Dickinson 308, Curiel 296, Brown 294. Okay. From the bottom, Stephen Milam 206, Jared Jones 248, Josh Pearson 250. The fact that Milam and Jones, their name is written in a Sharpie every day in the lineup, despite the fact that they are bringing up the rear in conference play. Milam's at 206, by the way. But I don't care He's your shortstop. He's a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sacrifice a bat for a premium glove or for an elite glove at a premium defensive position. Catcher, short, center field, fine. It is nonsensical to sit here and tell me that Jake Brown doesn't hit lefties, so Josh Pearson's going to be in there.
And
Jake Brown is your best defensive he'd be your best defensive option in right field. His speed on the base paths affects the game. His ability to go first to third, to score on a shallow single, to steal a base. His ability to hit for average or power to all fields. Like, he is a 5-tool player. It is, and I said this on my Locked On LSU postgame show last night. I'm not trying to tell you that I know anything, but like, this is the type of thing that is going to push a kid toward considering the transfer portal. Because I guarantee you, LSU is going to go in the portal and bring in an elite outfielder. There's a kid from TCU who is a freshman center fielder that, look, in this world, people talk. Everyone has agents. That kid's probably going to go in the portal. LSU's going to be a player for him. And why? If you're Jake Brown, and Jay's not going to put 3 lefties in the outfield, like, you're going to push this kid toward the portal because of your unwillingness to play a 5-tool guy, letting him rot on the bench. It just doesn't make a lick of sense.
The speed thing too, man. I mean, and that's you hit the nail on the head. The name of the game is to touch home plate more than the other team, and I think he's the fastest guy in your lineup, isn't he? I mean, he got flies.
I don't know, 90. I don't know what times.
No, I mean he's a
I would think he's
game changer from a speed standpoint. I mean, you got to have him in the lineup.
Curiel looks fast, but I was told by scouts that he's actually not like a straight line speed guy.
Not a burner.
Mick Paul, maybe. I don't know. They let him pitch run a lot. I really don't know. I have no idea as far as times.
Anytime you walk on your toes, you're fast. Jake Brown walks on his toes. So there's that.
I mean, I can sit here and belabor the point. Everyone's heard me yell about it all year. It's validating to hear you say it.
Oh, no. When he hit the homer a couple weeks ago that was like up into the atmosphere and pimped it and flipped the bat, I mean, I'm just like, that's what he does. Like,
he hit it onto the roof of the Marucci building.
You know who he reminded me of, who's a pretty good player, is Brad Hop, his swing. I mean,
it's a good comp.
Similar size. He's faster than Hop. Probably doesn't have the juice Hop has, but close. I mean, Hop's a 30 homer in the big league guy.
Well, you just said juice. It made me think in that era. But I thought you were joking.
No.
You're fine. Okay. I was not implying anything. I just thought you were joking.
Right. But they are
Misread on my
similar.
part.
They are similar players. I think he's going to be that guy too. I really do. I think he plays in the big leagues for a long time.
Like, it just, and I'm not saying, and I think you're agreeing, like, I'm not saying there's no role for Pearson or Fry, but the very obvious answer is put Brown in right every day and platoon lefty-righty, Fry, Pearson at DH.
No, to me, Fry doesn't come out of my lineup either.
So then Pearson is just a pinch hit?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, Ethan Fry doesn't come out of my lineup, and Jake Brown doesn't come out of my lineup. Now, to your point about Milam and Jones at the bottom, I don't know what else there is there to play shortstop, and I think if you got a guy that can pick it, that is a leader, has had some big hits for you, I mean, shortstops, that's a position that there's got some value, defensively for sure.
I mean, I would say the only option is you'd move Brazel back to short, and you could put Tanner Reeves at third, but they're not doing that at this point.
No.
You're not taking Milam out of the game.
Yeah, he's staying right there.
I mean, his ability to affect it, like, we know the ability is there, and he'll have big moments. He's just fighting it this year. I mean, there's not a great explanation for it. I mean, maybe you watch with a much keener eye than I do. I mean, what do you see with Milam?
I think he's just pull happy. I think he's very pull happy. I do. I think he's hit some homers. I think last year he used the whole field. He was a very impressive hitter. When he has gotten going a little bit from the left side, he was spraying the ball the other way a little bit more. I just think he's just simply gotten a little big in his swing. Muse mentioned it earlier, but the rollovers, the double plays, I mean, that's out of character. That tells me you're out in front of everything and just trying to yank. But yeah, man, look, Ethan Fry can't leave either, by the way, because the kid can hit.
Ethan Fry is going to be your first baseman next year. he can't play a position. He's going to be Jared Jones. He's going to stand on first base, and he's going to club homers. And he's going to come back next year because he doesn't have great draft value, because he does one thing. He hits for power. As far as scouts see it, right? Like, that's not going to be a guy that's going into the draft that's going to be a top 10 round guy this year. So he'll be back. Fully expect he'll be back next year, and he'll replace Jones at first base. And he'll hit in the middle of your lineup and hopefully hit you 20 bombs. And you'll be great having him back for another season. A guy who stayed, and you pull for guys like that. That's great. It's just, I can't understand when you have a guy that can impact your game in the way that Brown can, continuing to not play him. It just.
What's his overall average on the year?
Brown is at 3. It's 316.
He's had a hell of a year.
He's at 316. 316 overall, and in conference play, he's at 294. So almost even.
Yeah,
the disparity you talked about Fry has gotten his SEC average up to 288 because he was hovering below 250 for a while. But he's at 288 now, and he is at 361 overall. So it's about a 70-point difference in his average. So he's hitting dramatically lower in conference play than he is
as
overall.
Expected. Yeah.
It's 70 points is a big. Look at Brown. I mean, you're talking about 16 points. Like 20 points. 70 points is a pretty big disparity. Yeah. But fine. He gives you another big bat in the lineup. Anyway. So it's LSU in South Carolina, about 14 minutes away from first pitch. It is Cade Anderson against Jake McCoy, a lefty from South Carolina. He's got a 6.71 ERA on the season.
Paul had some strange feelings, some mixed emotions yesterday, he said.
He
said it was very weird.
I bet it is. Guy, I'm sure he thought he was done. He would never leave Baton Rouge. Yep. He was not only coaching against LSU. I bet he does have weird feelings and emotions about it. All right, it's after. Yep, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to break. You good? What you got? No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's got to be strange.
Yeah. All right, Ask Ryan next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Hormone replacement therapy, so many other treatments. So, yes, we're talking about ED treatments. And, look, if you have ED, don't live life with ED. No, Goodwood can help. Yourgoodwood.com. But
ED sucks.
Hormone replacement therapy, I mean, look up do your own research. The link to cardiovascular health, prostate health, of having healthy testosterone levels. Like, how many 20-year-olds do you learn that have prostate cancer? Not very common. They have healthy testosterone levels. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com. Schedule your blood labs. Let them draw your blood and see where you are and if they can safely and affordably supplement you. Lowest prices, never any contracts, but they have so much more. Their peptides are incredible. I've been trying BPC 157, which is supposed to aid in recovery. I'm in the 4th week of my cycle right now. Excited to get through an 8-week cycle and let you know how I feel. They have NAD treatment as well. You want to live your best, most vital, fullest life? Goodwood can help. yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Get on by, see our friends over at Don Juan in Town Center this weekend. You want to go into the retail shop, stack your humidor. They got you covered there. You want to mosey on by the cigar bar, have a great cocktail. Having lost a series to a miserable baseball team and then being one and done in Hoover. Let Oregon go win this weekend at Iowa and see what happens. Then
you see how volatile and how much they're moving in the polls.
That's why this matters. You don't have anything locked up right now.
We're screwed.
I mean, you're at 17 league. Well, look, if you're Texas and you're already at 20 league wins, it doesn't matter. Like, they won last night, but they could have gotten swept this week. It wouldn't have mattered. They're They've already won the league. South Carolina ain't a lock, Jack. Like, you got to go win this weekend. And now you've got to win these 2 games behind Anderson, who might have a messed up arm, wrist, whatever, and Ianson. And like you said, it's baseball. Dog, anything can happen in baseball. That's true. So now you put yourself in a situation where you had that game, blew it because of your own boneheaded mistakes, and now you're going to these 2 days where you got to win these 2 games to feel like you're going to Hoover with your national seed locked up. So yes, they lost a lot. How much different would I feel if they won last night? All you had to do is split with Anderson Ianson in the next 2 days. Different feeling. I wanted to go in a weekend happy. You made me yell.
AFR.
You know what's going to make me happy?
What?
Helping people be able to see. And Dr. Blake Williamson gets to do that every day.
Yeah, he does.
Williams, and I get to tell people every day, go see Dr. Blake Williamson. 924-2020, 924-2020. Have you done it yet? Make that phone call. Call him right now. There's nobody at the office right now, but you can leave him a message.
Yeah, they'll call you back.
924-2020. Or start on the website. And start getting some information. It's WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. How many people do you know that had LASIK and said, best money ever spent, should have done it years before?
All of them.
I'm in that number, by the way.
Every one of them.
I should have had LASIK 15 years before I did. But all the time that I'll have, I'm super grateful for it. It's incredible to wake up in the morning and just see. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's the best. The Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.